What if I told you, there's a spark plug that doesn't just ignite fuel, it creates lightning inside your engine? High voltage. Yes, you heard that right. A tiny piece of metal that looks so simple, yet it holds the power to make or break your engine's heartbeat. But today, what we're about to show you, is not an ordinary spark plug. This one burns hotter, louder, and faster than anything you've ever seen before. So hold tight, because once it fires, you'll never look at your engine the same way again. Red circle, right arrow. Every combustion engine, whether it's a car, a bike, or even a jet ski, has one common secret: the spark plug. It's like the matchstick that starts the fire inside a metal chamber, igniting a controlled explosion that pushes pistons and creates motion. But here's the twist: most people never realize how violent and beautiful that moment truly is. When the spark jumps, it happens in less than 1/1000th of a second, yet it releases energy hot enough to melt steel. Now imagine this: an engineer decides to modify this tiny device, to make it visible, more powerful, and more reactive than anything ever built before. He removes the metal casing, exposes the electrodes, and attaches it to a high-voltage coil that multiplies its energy output. The result? A spark so intense that it turns blue-white, like a bolt of miniature lightning dancing between 2 points. And when that spark plug fires in slow motion, you don't just see it, you feel it. The electricity arcs through the air, twisting like a living thing. It crackles, hums, and pulses with raw power, like the heartbeat of a machine coming alive. Every spark you see is a micro-explosion, a controlled chaos that fuels motion, speed, and adrenaline. It's pure energy, born in silence, exploding in brilliance. But here's where things get crazy. When this upgraded spark plug was tested in a high-performance engine, the results were shocking. The combustion efficiency shot up, the throttle response became razor-sharp, and the exhaust flames, they turned from orange to electric blue, showing just how much hotter the burn had become. That color shift isn't just for show. It's a sign that the fuel is burning more completely, more efficiently, and dangerously close to the limits of what the metal can handle. Engineers watching it on the test bench were stunned. They'd seen sparks before, but not this. Each ignition looked like a miniature storm inside the cylinder, like a piece of lightning trapped in a steel prison, begging to escape. And that's when something unexpected happened. The spark started producing plasma, a dense, glowing cloud that looked almost alive. This wasn't just fire, it was electrically charged gas, capable of burning through anything that got to. But you might be wondering, why does it look so different? Why does this spark behave like lightning instead of a tiny flash? The answer lies in energy density. A normal spark plug releases around 30,000 volts of electricity. This one, it's being pushed to nearly 80,000 volts. High voltage, that's almost triple the energy of a standard plug, enough to literally ionize the air around it and create plasma streams. The air itself becomes the conductor. And when that happens, what you get isn't just a spark, it's lightning in miniature form. To visualize this, imagine standing outside during a thunderstorm. You see lightning tear through the sky, lighting up clouds and cracking the air with sound. Now, shrink that entire event down to something smaller than your fingertip. That's what's happening inside this spark plug, thousands of times per minute. Each ignition stroke is a controlled storm that drives motion. But with great power, comes great risk. When this kind of plug was tested in real engines, the results were thrilling and terrifying. Engines ran smoother, yes. But the heat, it climbed to dangerous levels within seconds. Piston crowns started glowing, exhaust manifolds turned cherry red, and the engine began knocking violently, begging for mercy. Why? Because the spark was simply too strong, too hot, too energetic. It wasn't designed for long-term use, it was meant to push limits. To show what happens when electricity is unleashed beyond control, the engineers eventually had to shut it down. Smoke filled the lab, the air smelled of ozone and metal. And as the engine came to a stop, that final spark flickered one last time, as if saying goodbye. One of the researchers whispered, "This isn't just ignition, it's art." And he was right, because in that brief, violent experiment, they had captured something that no human eye usually gets to witness. The raw, untamed beauty of controlled chaos. The invisible heart of every machine, brought into the light. That spark plug didn't just ignite fuel. It ignited curiosity. It reminded everyone that even the smallest components, hidden deep inside our engines, carry stories of fire, lightning, and motion. So the next time you start your bike, your car, or even a generator, Remember this, inside that metal cylinder, a storm is born every second. A storm that obeys no one, yet serves us all. All because of one tiny hero, the spark plug. And if you ever get the chance to see one of these modified plugs fire in the dark, you'll understand why people said, "You've never seen a spark plug fire like this." High voltage, studio microphone voiceover softens, closing line builds emotion, because sometimes, the most powerful things come from the smallest sparks. Red circle right arrow.